Chapter 7, 1,400 kilometres from Hungary through to Romania and Bulgaria, 30th of May to 6th of June. First stop in Romania was Sibiu, which was the cultural city actually a few years ago. Beautiful gardens, and also a festival was happening when we were there. And guess what? There was a Sri Lankan food stall. After Sibiu, a 2-hour drive to Brasov. We stayed at the Transylvania Inn. Nice view actually, there seemed to be quite a nice place in the distance. This is Bran Castle, which allegedly was where Dracula lived, only of course he wasn't real. Based on Brad the Impaler, who also didn't live there. Actually, Queen Marie, who was the last Queen of Romania, related to the British royal family, did live there. Did lots of very good things. And it's a beautiful castle, just nothing to do with sucking blood. The next day we headed into Brasov, which is a lovely old town. It was 1st of June, there was a marathon going on, lots of kids' stuff. Really nice, pretty place. And then, as you'd expect, it was time once again for us to visit one of Nero's friends, this time Ramona and her wonderful family. And they took us up to the mountains, gave us some traditional Romanian food, which was delicious. One of our favourites was the bean soup with smoked pork, but all the food was delicious and it was a really lovely afternoon. A big shout out to Luca, who can count to 20 in English. Can you believe it? Really lovely afternoon. Thank you very much, guys. We then took the chance to thrash around off-road in the Land Rover. Look at that go. If you're interested, this is what a Land Rover looks like tearing along on its own in low gear ratio, gear 1. Impressive, huh? It was around 25 degrees when we were there in summer, but it can get to minus 25 in the winter, believe it or not. And there is a ski resort nearby, so it's a real stunning place. Next day we went to a bear sanctuary in Brasov, and as you can see, the bears are behind wire fences but are able to roam across many acres, and these bears have been rescued either from circuses or private owners that didn't look after them very well, so good place to see. Anyway, then on to Bucharest, the capital, which is a couple of 100 kilometres down the road, and this was a nice city again. We didn't really have time to see all of it, but we did have a quick whiz round, saw something that looked like Kura, and then we were back in Sri Lanka, or at least it felt like it. We found a small Sri Lankan enclave near the market, and they very kindly made us some hoppers, which was a real treat. There's also a Sri Lankan shop there, which amongst other things sold us these cheesy bits. It was lovely, actually. It really felt like we were back in Sri Lanka. Thanks to everyone that made us feel so welcome there. More high-speed Land Rover action. And then Nero caught me up, and off we went into Bulgaria. The border with Romania is on the River Danube, and the crossing itself was very straightforward. And then about a 500-kilometre drive to Burgas. Why Burgas? I hear you say. Well, it was to meet one of Nero's friends, Maria. And we had a wonderful time in Burgas with Maria. Bit of a late night to start with as we sampled the local food and drink. We stayed with Maria and her dad for a couple of days in Burgas, and on day 2 we decided it was time for some healing mud, which is an amazing place actually. And first you lie in this sort of salt lagoon, which we did for a few minutes, and then you cover yourself in mud, of course, and then wash it all off in the Black Sea.
It is warm.
Looking 5 years younger, we then drove to the forest near the Turkish border and went for a wonderful hike along the riverbed, eventually finding some caves. Beautiful place, finished off with some food. Maria's dad was excellent at building the fire, and we had a wonderful barbecue with all sorts of things that Maria and her dad had bought earlier. Great meal, great day. Thank you very much, Maria, for an amazing 2 days. It was really lovely spending time with you and your dad. Next stop for us was Shipka, and a beautiful Russian Orthodox church. And then on to Kazanluk, which is Bulgaria's Rose Valley, world renowned for the quality of these roses and the rose oil that comes from them. This year the rose season lasted around a month to the beginning of June, and there's a rose museum in Kazanluk which included this video of the festival there. It's a very important part of the country, as is lavender. It's a really lovely valley actually, and as we set off we have very warm memories of Bulgaria. Next stop, Turkey.